Hi, I developed Fit Forever because I understood the future of the world is really through social networking and communicating. In a lot of cases, that's one of the bad things about our future. In social networking, we're losing our face time with people. So I thought Fit Forever would be a great way to keep in contact with people you actually contact with on a daily basis through exercise. On Fit Forever, we give exercise, diet, nutrition, information. You can get articles, you can get training programs, but you can also talk about it with your friends. So when you look at a lot of social networking these days, it's really talking about a lot of different things, but at the end of the day, what are you really talking about? Whereas Fit Forever, every time you're on this site, you're actually talking about something that's going to help your life better. And you can find people that have the same goals and aspirations that you do. So it's an active site, whereas the information you take, you actually get out and you do something about it. So Fit Forever is a site that everyone can use for all ages, because we want to focus on kids who need to learn and talk to other kids in their communities and neighborhoods about exercise, adults who want to keep their bodies in shape, and also seniors who want to find people that are their age to do the same types of things. How many of you have actually been 45 or 50, like my age, when you go into a gym and some 20-something says, yeah, you can work in, but what are you doing, old man? The whole thing is that Fit Forever is a social networking physical fitness site designed to allow you to set your plan to integrate FaceTime with internet time in a way that people have never done before. Well, the exciting thing about Fit Forever is we're focusing on families. We're presently talking to the state of New Jersey about adopting a new role for me to have in that state, and that is the physical fitness chairperson. Because New Jersey is one of the few states left in America that mandates physical education throughout your school term. And my high school, Willingboro High School, has now adopted Fit Forever as a part of their physical education program. And what the neat thing about that is that now kids can put their exercise, diet, nutrition information in a site, and their families could share it with it. They could share it with their other kids. They could share it with other schools, and ultimately other communities, cities, states, and countries. So now kids can talk about what is the diet of someone in China? What is the diet of someone in Italy or India? And so they're learning things, and they're learning about geography, but also physical education, wellness, and fitness. Because we've got to get exercise back in our school programs in order to get kids going again. We have to get exercise back in the consciousness of our young people. It's so easy to say, yes, childhood obesity, but it's just a tagline unless we're doing something about it. And Fit Forever is designed to do something about it. Well, my next project is, I'm really excited about. I have a great idea that I've been going around recently of talking about writing a book about exercise and sports for kids. One of my things about sports now in kids is that there's such an emphasis on organized sports instead of family-related sports programs. And what I mean by that is that you have to join a team instead of just a father throwing a ball to a son, or a mother standing there catching a ball when she may not be that good from her daughter. We have to get back to family fitness as well as organized sports in order to get kids to be as successful as they can be. Because the reality, every moment you spend with your child, no matter what it is a moment that you're going to enrich that child's life, and you're going to learn about what their life is about. Diet and nutrition is so important in sports. The funny thing about it, we're learning so much now about nutrition, more than we ever knew. But the reality is that we're bigger than ever, we're in less condition than ever, and we're fatter than ever. So back in a day, 30 or 40 or 50 years ago, we obviously did not have fast food. So we needed fast food because we were running out of time. But what's interesting, weren't we told 20 years ago that once we have the internet, once we have cell phones, once we have this new medium of communication, we'd have more time? But we have less time. And it isn't because we have less time, we're choosing to have less time. We're actually putting more dead time into our day. So we should learn that. I started off with an average diet in most of my career. I changed my diet at 30 years old, and I had all of my personal bests after 30 years old with a new vegan and vegetarian diet. And most people think that's unbelievable. But the reality is that we know that people can compete and have success without a heavy-based meat and high-protein diet. You can do it with other proteins, which are in all types of meats, vegetables, legumes, starches. You can do it like that. So for someone to have had their personal best at 30, when I was really not on a meat diet, just tells everyone you can do that. Secondly, it's about your exercise and in diet, how it works together. The average man gains 2 pounds a year after 25 years old. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but when by the time you're 50, you've gained 50 pounds. That is a lot. So what we have to do is, as you get older, your metabolism changes. And it changes because we have a lack of exercise and we have a lack of weight-bearing exercise. That's for men and women. So it's also important to understand how your program should change as you get older. So it's a multifaceted thing. I have a motto that I tell everyone that asks me how to lose weight. I say, anyone can out-eat exercise. No matter how much you exercise, you can out-eat exercise. So it starts with your diet, and then the exercise adds into it. Well, when I made the step to vegan, I actually went from a meat-eating diet all the way to a vegan diet immediately. And the way I did it, I met a doctor that talked about the vegan diet, and the way I did it is I ate a big meat meal. Matter of fact, I remember the day I was in Spain on tour, and I ate these big Spanish sausages, and they were amazing. And on a Sunday, I flew home Sunday, and on Monday, I was a vegan. So my biggest issue in changing was not what I was missing, but the amount of food that I ate. I had to adjust to calorie intake. So before I realized I would eat dinner every day, I'd eat lunch 3 days a week or 4 days a week, and I'd eat breakfast never. So now I could eat 3 meals a day, I could snack, and it really enhanced that part. But what's funny is that people say, I can't eat without meat. Well, the reality is that it's one thing on your plate. Your plate is full of everything else. So we developed a diet that didn't just go to what I guess a lot of people would think were vegan foods. We actually adapted things to fit what I normally had. We would have lasagna, but we would replace spinach instead of the meat. Of course, we would use soy cheese and that type of thing. And then I would have spaghetti. You know, we would have vegetarian pasta, and with meat sauce. Oops, I'm sorry, that was lentil sauce. So we would adjust it, and people would come over, and they wouldn't even know the difference. They would, and some of them who are meat eaters would say, wow, I like the vegetarian meal better because they feel better, and it still gives them the same flavor. So the reality is that when you're eating meat, you're just eating dead flesh anyway, and you have to season that. So why can't you season other things to get the same flavor? Well, for me, meditation and prayer is extremely important. You know, a lot of people, I have a thing where right now is I'm on this time in my life, and I guess looking back, that's how I lived my life, and I can better express it now, is that I've always listened. And when I meditated or I prayed, I listened. There's so much, I want to thank God for this, no. What I do is I listen to what God's telling me, and then I go out and do it. And so I'm just thankful that I listen, I hear. I say, I get up every day, and I'm thankful, and I meditate, and I go to work. If you watch me before a race, I always meditated, or I was thankful before the race. I would always pray that everyone had the best race today. Let me focus on what I'm doing, focus on what I'm doing. That's where my prayer was. And then when the race was over, that was my work. Because once the race started, it was my work. So I think that what I want to tell people is that hope, achievement, it all comes through prayer and meditation. But focus on meditating so you start listening more instead of asking. Because so many people are saying, I'm going to pray about something. No, I didn't pray about anything. I just prayed and I'm thankful that I'm here and listen to God telling me what to do. A perfect example is that I recently moved back to New Jersey. And people ask me, how did you move back here? I said, it's where I'm supposed to be. And that's really the only explanation I need to give, because it feels right. Everything is wrong about me being in New Jersey except that it feels right. So we have to make sure that we listen to what God is telling you instead of always trying to ask God for something. And that's why it's so important, not just to pray for things, but to meditate about things, about your life, and take God's message and his focus in. Just get away from asking and start listening.